What's shaking, my friends? My name is Shay. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about what is coming out in the month of April that I am excited about. We are saying goodbye to March, hello to April. So let's go ahead and get started. I have my computer down here. I'm going to give a brief, kind of not a full synopsis, but just some catchy words for each book and what made me kind of interested in it in the first place. So let's go on. April is a great month with a lot of very anticipated releases. So looking forward to the month of April. Okay, right on April the 4th, we have Paradise 1 by David Wellington. And this, what I have for this is there's a ghost spaceship and there's some people that have been cryogenically frozen, and they encounter this ghost spaceship and they must go on the ship to investigate what happened to the people that were on the ship, because the ship held like 150,000 people and now they're gone away. So I'm very much looking forward to this. It reminds me a lot of one of my favorite ones that came out last year, which was Dead Silence. Loved that, highly recommend. But I did write down that this is 688 pages. So that's a lot of pages for like a sci-fi horror. But I feel like sci-fi horror is like my jam, or sci-fi thriller. Then also on the 4th, we have The Scourge Between Stars by Ness Brown. I think this is more of a novella kind of thing, but it says a claustrophobic sci-fi horror blend set aboard a doomed generation ship harboring something terrible within its walls. So again, I feel like this is my time for sci-fi horror. Super excited. Also on the 4th, an anticipated sequel for me is Engines of Chaos by Richard S. Ford. If you don't know, the first book, which I have up here somewhere, is Engines of Empire by R.S. Ford, and I absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 stars last year. It was one of my top 30 books of the year. Highly recommend it if you like any kind of fantasy, but I feel like it's very political, follows multi-POVs, lots of family members, family issues going on, political stuff going on, backstabbing going on, revolution going on. Loved it and highly recommend that series. And I cannot wait to read the sequel. Then we have on April the 11th, we have another very, very highly anticipated release for me from one of my favorite authors, and that's going to be Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. It's the next one in her series, and this one is following a couple that has terrible first impressions, hilarious second chances, and the joy and perfect match. So I think this is involving the medical field, and at first they're like enemies and then they become more, and that's all I need to know. And really all I need to know is that it's by Abby Jimenez. Then on the 11th, we also have Some Desperate Glory by Emily Tesh, and this is a thrillingly told queer space opera about the wreckage of war, the family you find, and who you must become when every choice is stripped from you. So this sounds so lovely, and I think there was a bidding war for this book between publishing houses, and so I think Tor won and Tor is publishing this book. Please don't quote me on that, but I think that's the case, and I am highly looking forward to this. Like, I feel like this is my space opera sci-fi year as well. Okay, then also we have on April the 11th, The Only Survivors by Megan Miranda. So I have read a few Megan Miranda books, and I haven't read all of her books, but this one is intriguing me. And it says a mystery about a group of former classmates who reunite to mark the 10th anniversary of a tragic accident, only to have one of the survivors disappear, casting fear and suspicion on the original tragedy. So again, this is like that classic thriller thing where we have an event that took place in the past and one that's taking in the future, and we're kind of like going back and forth between mysteries. So I've liked other ones like that, so we'll just kind of see. Okay, the next on April 11th, we have Untethered Sky by Fonda Lee, and this is a novella, an epic fantasy fable about the pursuit of obsession at all costs. And I know there's some magical, not magical, but like some creatures in here. Some killer manticores or something. I don't know, but I want to read it. Also on the 11th, we have Going Zero by Anthony McCartan. And this says, basically, this is a another sci-fi thriller kind of thing. there's a surveillance system that they're testing out, and they have these beta testers. And so basically the beta testers have to go completely off the grid. No internet, no access to anything, and the surveillance system has to try to find them. And there's going to be some thrilling things going on, and I'm ready to read it. Then we have on April 18th, we have another sequel that I'm looking forward to, which ends the duology, and that's going to be The Blood Gift by Annie Davenport, which the first book was The Blood Trials, which was a sci-fi fantasy blended that I really enjoyed last year. And so I highly recommend that you catch up on this duology so you can read it with us. It's ultimately a revenge story. It has some trials in it. Highly recommend to read it. Check it out. Then we have on the 18th as well, Sisters of a Lost Nation by Nick Medina. I think this is a thriller. It says a young native girl's hunt for answers about the women mysteriously disappearing from her tribe's reservation lead her to delve into the myths and stories of her people, all while being haunted herself. So horror thriller. I am looking forward to it. I also like this cover. Also on the 18th, we have The Warden by Daniel M. Ford. And this says, old magics are restless, and an insignificant village on the farthest border of the kingdom might hold secrets far beyond what anyone expected. Alis might be the only person standing between one of the greatest evils ever known and the rest of the world, necromancers in this story. So yes, the cover is also beautiful. And also now we're moving on to the April the 25th. We have In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune, which is one of my anticipated releases of the year. I love TJ Klune. This is a Pinocchio retelling, I believe. Invites you deep into the heart of a peculiar forest and on the extraordinary journey of a family assembled from spare parts. And so I absolutely love it. Sounds like it's going to be a found family. One of my favorite tropes in a fantasy or any really genre. Love it. Also, we have another anticipated sequel coming out on April the 25th, which is A Slice of Shadows by Kat Howard. So we've been waiting on this book for a very long time. The first book was The Unkindness of Magicians. So if you haven't read Unkindness of Magicians, highly recommend it. It's not my favorite fantasy. It does have some fantasy magical competition in it, but I did really enjoy it when I read it. Then on the 25th, another most anticipated release of the year for me. April is like a great month. That is going to be Happy Place by Emily Henry, which is like a second chance romance. A couple who broke up months ago make a pact to pretend to still be together for their annual week-long vacation with their best friends. So normally I don't like second chance romances, but I feel like if anybody can do it right, it's going to be Emily Henry. Then we have also on the 25th, The Lake House by Sarah Beth Durst. I want to say that I don't know that she's ever written in the horror thriller genre, but this I think is a YA mystery thriller. And basically it's a summer camp. This girl, they arrive and there's the fire, everything's been set on fire, and there's two survivors, and they realize that something has happened because the fire was set intentionally. They find a dead body, and then something is hunting them down. So sounds like a horror thriller. I'm interested to see it. The cover is also very intriguing to me. Also on the 25th, we have Ascension by Nicholas Benge, which also is like maybe a thriller. Sudden appearance of a mountain in the middle of the Pacific Ocean leads a group of scientists to a series of jaw-dropping revelations that challenge the notion of what it means to be human. So I'm down. Let's go. Let's read it. Then lastly, in the month of April, is going to be The Eden Test by Adam Sturberg. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that name right, but this is a week-long getaway for couples in need of a fresh start. It's about a couple who's forced to go to the ultimate extremes to save their marriage and themselves. And I think it's a thriller, and I'm excited. I'm excited about the month of April. I'm excited about what is being released. Y'all tell me what you are excited for in April. Of course, there's a lot of fantasy sequels that are coming out, but if I haven't read the first book, I can't highly anticipate the next book in the series. So let me know what you guys are anticipating. Let me know what I need to look out for, maybe that I need to read that I did not include on this list. Okay, guys, I will catch you later.